Did you realize your carry-on could get you stopped in 2025, even if it sailed through last year? Behind the scenes, airlines and the TSA have rolled out a raft of quiet rule changes most travelers haven't even heard about. The fallout is real. People are being delayed, hit with surprise fees, and in some cases, missing their flights entirely. From newly restricted power banks to wet wipes that some systems now treat like liquids, the rule book has shifted. In this video, I'm unpacking 14 brand new carry-on rules blindsiding passengers in 2025. This isn't the same tired, don't bring a water bottle advice. These are the subtle updates flight attendants are warning their own families about. And believe me, Rule 7 can derail your trip before you even make it to the jet bridge. Tap that like button, subscribe, and stay with me through the end. Your next flight might genuinely depend on it. 14. Gate Shrinkage. The overhead bin surprise. There's a sneaky change catching more people at the last possible moment. Smaller overhead bins. Many carriers have quietly downsized or reconfigured bin space, and the bag that fit perfectly last year, maybe even with the airline's approved size tag, can suddenly be a no-go. This trend shows up most on newer aircraft, compact regional jets, and budget airlines where cabins are engineered to save space, not to store more. Here's the trap. Even if your carry-on technically meets the classic 22 by 14 by 9 inches dimensions on paper, real-world details can push it over the edge. Chunky zipper tracks, protruding handles, stiff corners, or a bulging midsection after you've packed it full can keep it from sliding into the sizer. Gate agents are also enforcing more strictly. If your bag doesn't drop into that frame, you'll be checking it right there at the door, often along with a $40 to $80 surprise fee. Plenty of travelers discover this seconds before boarding, frantically pulling out laptops, cameras, or fragile items so they don't end up in the hold. Pro tip, measure your bag after you've packed it. Handles, wheels, lumps and all. If you're on the edge, switch to a softer-sided case that has a little give, and resist stuffing it to the bursting point. In 2025, overhead space is tighter than ever, and a single extra inch can cost you time, money, and nerves. 13. Weight sensors at boarding. Every gram counts. Another new gatekeeping tactic for 2025. Pressure-sensitive pads embedded at the boarding point. Step onto the mat, and without a word, the system weighs you and your bags together. If your combined carry-on plus personal item creeps over the airline's threshold, even slightly, an alert flashes on the agent's screen. No debates and no warnings. You'll be told to check a bag and pay the fee on the spot. These systems are already operating at select airports across Asia and Europe, and they're quietly showing up at major US hubs, especially with low-cost carriers. The part many travelers miss: some limits are as low as 7 kilograms, about 15 pounds, for everything you're carrying on. A loaded backpack paired with a small roller can tip you over without trying. To make matters trickier, certain airlines even count duty-free purchases toward the total. Pro tip, weigh both your carry-on and your personal item at home and aim to be comfortably under the posted limit. Last-minute shuffling between bags at the gate looks suspicious and, increasingly, doesn't fly. In 2025, it's not just the size of your bag that matters, it's the grams. 12. AI shape detecting scanners. Form matters as much as size. Security tech took a leap in 2025. New AI-driven scanners don't just judge by size or weight anymore. They analyze the shape of what's inside your bag. Their computer vision models flag odd silhouettes, asymmetry, and suspicious bulges, even when your carry-on technically meets the bin or sizer requirements. A roller with one overstuffed corner, a backpack with a swollen side pocket, or a tote that droops unevenly can all trigger a secondary screen. Once you're flagged, you may be asked to repack on the spot or check the bag entirely. A slow, awkward, and sometimes expensive detour. These systems are already on trial at major airports across Europe and Australia, with broader rollout expected by year's end. Pro tip, pack for a smooth, balanced exterior. Distribute heavy items evenly, skip lumpy outer pockets, and don't cram odd-shaped souvenirs into tight spaces. In 2025, your bag's outline can be just as decisive as its contents. 11. Power banks. The hard 100 watt-hours line. Portable chargers remain essential, but the rules have sharpened. Anything over 100 watt-hours, roughly 27,000 milliamp hours, is now an automatic no-go. Even a hair over the cap can get your battery confiscated at the checkpoint. Authorities are also stricter about label clarity. If capacity and voltage aren't clearly printed or the label is worn, staff may assume it's non-compliant and seize it on site. Plenty of travelers have lost 100-plus power banks this way, sometimes after clearing one checkpoint only to be stopped at the next. And don't forget, lithium batteries are never permitted in checked baggage due to fire risk. Pro tip: travel with a bank comfortably under 100 watt-hours, ideally 20,000 milliamp hours or less, with capacity and voltage clearly marked. Keep it in your carry-on, not buried under clothing, and corral multiple banks in a single pouch for swift inspection. 10. Smart luggage with non-removable batteries. Grounded smart suitcases are everywhere, but there's a deal breaker that will keep yours off the plane: a non-removable lithium battery. TSA and Airlines now enforce a firm ban on any bag whose power pack can't be detached, in both carry-on and checked baggage. The safety rationale is simple: lithium cells can overheat, and if staff can't remove the battery quickly during an incident, the risk is unacceptable. Travelers have been turned around at check-in, forced to abandon 300-plus smart bags, or to sprint for last-minute replacements. Pro tip: before you fly, open the compartment and confirm the battery can be removed without tools. Carry the battery separately in the cabin and never place it in the cargo hold. 9. Liquid rules at CT-equipped checkpoints. A quieter, kinder lane when available. A subtle upgrade is reshaping the liquids and laptops routine at select airports. CT scanners. These advanced units generate detailed 3D images of your bag's contents, which means you can often leave liquids, gels, aerosols, and even laptops inside during screening. No more fishing for a quart-sized bag, no more juggling trays and cables. There's a catch. CT lanes are not universal. They're concentrated in larger hubs and sometimes only at specific checkpoints within the same airport. Walk into a standard X-ray lane and you're back to the typical ritual. Pro tip: before you fly, check your departure airport site or recent TSA notices to see if your security lane uses CT. If not, default to the traditional 311 rule and expect to remove electronics. 8. Wet wipes. Allowed, yet still tripping alarms. By the letter of TSA policy, wet wipes aren't considered liquids and can be packed in any quantity. However, newer automated X-ray analysis can misinterpret certain packaging, think foil-sealed pouches or rigid plastic tubs, and flag them for a hand check even though they're perfectly allowed. Pro tip: keep wipes easy to reach, outer pocket or tray. If they get flagged, officers can confirm them quickly and send you on your way. 7. Powders over 350 milliliters draw serious scrutiny. Security has tightened on bulk powders larger than 350 milliliters, about 12 ounces. This umbrella includes baby formula, protein mixes, drink powders, baking ingredients, and even some cosmetic powders. Exceed the threshold and you're likely headed for additional screening. If you don't declare them or they're in unmarked containers, officers may discard them. Pro tip: keep quantities modest, use original packaging when possible, label anything repacked, and declare powders up front. Accessibility and transparency speed the process and reduce the risk of surrendering expensive products. 6. Low battery devices. Extra attention devices that can't power on or look like they're struggling under on 30% charge or showing heat warnings are increasingly singled out. Officers need to turn electronics on to verify they're legit and safe. If your phone or laptop won't boot when asked, expect delays or, in extreme cases, a confiscation. Pro tip: charge key devices to 50% or more before you reach security. Keep chargers handy and be ready to power on when requested. 5. From May 2025, Real ID or passport required. As of May 2025, a standard non-compliant driver's license won't cut it. You'll need a Real ID or a valid passport to clear U.S. security. Enhanced verification systems are less forgiving of outdated credentials, and travelers caught unaware face secondary screening or missed flights. Pro tip: confirm your ID status well before travel day and renew early if needed. When in doubt, carry your passport. 4. Shoe-free lanes exist, but don't count on them. Many airports now offer keep your shoes on lanes that speed things up, but they're not guaranteed at every checkpoint or during peak rushes. Agents may still direct you to remove footwear, especially with older scanners or when throughput slows. Pro tip: wear easy on-off shoes and be ready to follow posted signs or agent instructions. Flexibility equals faster lines. 3. Facial recognition. Optional in theory, confusing in practice. Biometric boarding and security are expanding fast. Some terminals pair a face scan with your reservation for look-and-go access. No ID flashes, fewer bottlenecks. Opting out, however, can feel unclear or awkward, and some travelers report being funneled into biometric lanes by default. Pro tip: if you prefer not to participate, ask for manual screening before entering the biometric queue. Staff can redirect you to a traditional lane. 2. Liquid exemptions allowed, but declare them every time exemptions for breast milk, baby formula, prescription liquids, and other medically necessary fluids over 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, still apply. But they're not automatic. You must separate and declare them for additional screening at the checkpoint, including on connections where enforcement can vary. Pro tip: keep exempt liquids accessible. Tell the officer about them up front, and bring supporting documentation when sensible. Clear communication prevents delays. 1. Inconsistent enforcement, surprise fees, and last-minute checks. In 2025, uniformity is out. What passes one agent or airport may be flagged at the next. Carry-on size, weight, and personal item rules can swing widely, especially with regional airports and budget carriers, leading to unexpected gate checks and $40 to $80 fees that blindside travelers. Pro tip: arrive early to leave room for repacking or paying fees if needed. Ask politely for the specific rule you're alleged to violate and document the interaction. Many airlines will reverse charges on appeal when you have details. You're now equipped with the complete list of 14 stealth carry-on rules for 2025 lurking behind the security lines. If this breakdown helped, share it with a frequent flyer and subscribe for more practical travel intel. Drop a comment with the rule that surprised you most.